Ready? Let's go to start. Open the ties, remove the rope. Let's go to handling, to the back lift to down, and organize the load for we start to harvest in this apiary, please. Rafik, start to puff smoke on the hives, Rafik. Now it is time for starting to remove our part of the business. Until now, we care the bees, we add good frames, good wax, and we have all cares for the bees producing honey. Now, it's time for we remove our part of the hives. Then we have different ways to harvest honey. We can harvest before the flowers finish or at the end of the season. And when we are sure that there is no flower, in this second option is the option that we have now. We don't have more flowers and we need to remove the honey. We choose this option because we will start, as you will see, to prepare the hives for the period between the harvest. The period between without flowers that we will talk in another episode. But now we will remove around 8 frames, 8 honeycombs from each hive, and we will replace with 3 more empty honeycombs for complete standard. 5 frames inside the hive. For this period, we don't need more than 5 frames because we don't have flowers for the bee storage honey. And from now, after harvest, we will weekly have a monitoring in the hives in each location that we have, because now is starting the period between seasons that we can harvest some honey. And now the people are preparing the materials and to protect the honey that we will harvest, because we don't have flowers around the apiary. Then the bees that do this service, this task to collect food outside, are inside the hives. When we will start to open these hives, these bees will try to stealing the honey that we are harvest and returning this honey for its hive. Then we need to protect the honey with a canvas, and we have some cares that we will talk with you step by step during the harvest in this apiary. Okay? we are choosing the honeycombs full of honey. We need to remove the bees or shaking or using the bee brush. We need to transfer this honey without bees, all times. And we continue to remove the bees and remove the honeycombs. There are a lot of frames only with honey. And when we find the broods with food, we will stay inside the hive. We will not remove. Another frame with brood, we stay here. Frames with honey, we remove. We stay inside this hive only with 2 frames. Only 2 frames with honey and brood in the same frame. After, we will come back for complete with more 3 frames, and we will have a standard at the end of the season with all hives with 5 frames. Now we will cover the hive, but we change the position of the cover, for we know that these hives we already harvest before. It's very important when we are harvest honey, don't put a lot of smoke, because the honey will absorb the smell of the smoke inside the smoker, and never you can puff the smoke directly on the honeycomb frames. We need to put around on the top, but never directly on the frame. These 2 frame with this device for remove the frame, it's a very good equipment for we harvest honey, because we don't need to touch with the hands the honeycombs, and we use only one hand. If we need to remove manually, we need to remove the frame with both hands. And with this device, we don't need to use 2 hands, only one. And the other hand, we can use the bee brush for remove the bees. When I am transfer the honeycomb for harvest this hive, the beekeepers are receiving the frame and put inside an empty hive that will be covered for the bees not stealing the honey that we are harvesting. Again, we found a beautiful frame with honey, but we have a lot of brood and stay here in the hive. Put fast. Put directly. We stay in the hive with 2 frames. This is quantity of food sufficient for this swarm for many weeks, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Then we will have a period between harvest season and without flowers, but I am sure that the bees will have some food inside the hive for eating. This is very important. And a few weeks later we will come back for check if the bees finish to consumption this honey. If yes, we will need to feed this hive. The most important thing of our beekeeping that we are implanting in Fujairah is not only harvest honey, but has a sustainability of the activity for not lose hives between the periods that we don't have flowers. This is our main goal. This is our big challenge, to stay alive the bees that we are using for production, different that we have around us. Then we need to stay alert all time for checking if the bees has healthy and has food. If not, we need to handle for feed the hives. This is sustainability. This is the most important thing that we are studying, we are learning, we are teaching, we are changing information with other beekeepers in this country. Good job, guys. Cover the loads. They are covered, the hive supers that we harvest in this apiary with 40 hives, and we removed and we harvested 32 hive supers. It's the same thing that 320 frames with honey. Now we will spread the frames that we removed from the hives. We will be implanting in each hive 3 frames more for complete 5 frames. We will not complete the hive with 10 frames because the flower finished and we will stay with the minimum quantity of wax inside the hives for no heavy problem with the wax moth, that is a pest that eats the wax, and the wax is a treasure for the beekeeper. This is very, very valuable product. Then we will remove 5 frames and stay only with all hives the same standard with 5 frames inside. And we will start now. All hives that we harvest have 2 frames. We will add 3 more frames, and this will be our standard for the period between the harvest without flowers. 5 frames. We will return the cover in the original position, and we will continue to do it. Finalized this apiary, the harvest in this apiary, and we are going to the other apiary. Follow me!